So, for anyone just sitting down listening to this conversation who doesn't know about Giving Tuesday, tell us, Zach, what is it about? What is Giving Tuesday?
Yeah. Giving Tuesday started back in 2012. It's a day of giving, and it's a day that is, well, think about the timeline. It's always the Tuesday immediately after Thanksgiving. So you have Thanksgiving, a time to be grateful, and then you have Black Friday, a time to blow your paycheck.
Yeah.
And then you have the weekend, I guess, to regret your decisions or whatever. And then you have Cyber Monday, a time to blow your next paycheck that maybe you don't already have. And so it's this weird dichotomy of you had Thanksgiving, which is a wonderful time of the year, and then it's immediately followed by these holidays of just excess.
Yeah.
Kind of
Buy more.
sort of a negative thing.
Yeah.
So in 2012, it was a YMCA in New York City. This is actually how it started. And they recognized there's so much kind of commercialism that follows on the heels of Thanksgiving. What if we encouraged just our people who know the YMCA to then also think about giving? So the 92nd Street Y in New York City raised a bunch of money. A bunch. I don't remember how much it was. And that was 2012. And since then, word got around to other nonprofits, and whether they're faith-based or secular or what, it's a day that is now even outside the U.S. to think about giving to others and giving back, whether that's volunteering or it's money. I want to say that in 2023, the total that was raised worldwide was something like $3.5 billion on one day.
Yeah.
And so that's the idea. Is Giving Tuesday is a time to follow the Thanksgiving spirit, kind of as a foil to spending all that money and give. And so that's really, it's become like a cultural phenomenon, and it's only 13 years old, and there's been billions of dollars raised all over the world.
So it's still kind of like a new giving initiative. I mean, only 13 years old. This is our second year at BMM. This is our second year doing it.
It is, yeah.
Why did BMM decide to take part in it? What was the reasoning behind that?
That is partially my fault, but I was aware of Giving Tuesday from just working in finance for years, and it's very prevalent. I mean, it seems kind of like almost as normal to think about Giving Tuesday or to hear about it now as, Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And so I got here in October last year, October 1st, and I went to my boss, Steve Brennick, and we work in stewardship, and so we help people with their giving. And I said, what does BMM do for Giving Tuesday? Because I've seen plenty of other faith-based groups, mission agencies, organizations that do something for Giving Tuesday. And he said, well, we've never done Giving Tuesday. And so long story short, it was this idea of, well, maybe we could. And then it transformed into what is now Hasten to the Harvest, which has a very specific focus. But this is our second year, and the Lord has been really gracious, even just in 1 year, to encourage people to give on what is largely a secular giving day, really. But we're just reminding the Lord's people that generosity is a biblical principle, not just an option for a few.
You were talking about the theme Hasten to the Harvest a little bit just now. What is the idea behind that title? Why do we associate the title Hasten to the Harvest with BMM's Giving Tuesday?
Yeah. You might, as a nonprofit, be doing like a year-end campaign to just fund the bottom line, kind of keep the lights on. But others will do like a specific project because it's like a short-term campaign. You're maybe raising money for one specific thing. And so we decided that we would do that. We have very generous givers to BMM, and they love to support missions and projects and things all over the world. And so we said, well, where's an area that we can encourage people to do even more? And so that area, we felt, is our appointees. And so anybody who has been brought on as a new candidate for that year, they start on deputation, pre-field ministry, they're visiting churches, they're raising support. And so hasten to the harvest is this idea of, if we can get the people that love gospel ministry through missions to just pool their resources for a short period of time and take that amount that's collected and spread it out to all of our appointees for that year, that's like an infusion of cash kind of right off the bat. They get appointed in July, and by the end of the year, hopefully the Lord has provided this gift, a bonus gift from the BMM family. And what that really equates to is you spend less time needing to raise funds on deputation. It could be weeks, months. I mean, it just depends on how long it takes you, but less time in needing to raise support means that you get to the field faster. And that, if it's 6 months less, that is 6 months more in active gospel ministry. And so the idea of hasten to the harvest is just that.
Why do we value getting missionaries to the field quicker?
Every minute that you get to spend on the field doing gospel ministry is another minute that could be used to change somebody's life. I mean, that is one more. I mean, what could the Lord do in 60 seconds to change somebody's destiny eternally? And so you take the idea of that minute, and even if it's just a couple days or weeks of somebody getting to the field and spending more time on the field in their missionary career or whatever it is, that could be thousands of opportunities for them to connect somebody to Christ. And so that really is the heart behind this.
How can someone's Giving Tuesday donation help make a difference for those on deputation looking to go to the field?
In one sense, every gift is going to be divided equally. So anything that you give is going to go directly to a new missionary. There's no fee for the home office or anything like that. Every dollar that you give goes to those missionaries. So you're putting money in their account that they will be able to use to get to the field faster. But in another even greater sense, and we heard this from the appointees last year, is the idea that somebody that doesn't really know them would be willing to give to still speed them on to the field that the Lord has called them to is such an encouragement and an affirmation that the church is behind what they're wanting to do and how the Lord has gifted them and how he's called them. And so maybe even greater for a new missionary than just the infusion of funds, let's say, is this idea that there are people that love the Lord so much and the idea of Christ changing lives that they're willing to give to brand new missionaries that they don't personally know, but they recognize that those people have a burden that's from the Lord. And so that person says, I should support that. In that transition, maybe they were working a job. Maybe they had a vehicle breakdown.
Yeah.
And where am I going to get the money for a new transmission or whatever it might be? And so,
Because they need a vehicle to travel to different churches,
right,
present. Yeah.
and that is key. If you're traversing the United States or even just your area, and you're trying to set up meetings,
Yeah.
once, 2, 3 times a week, that obviously takes a toll on your car, but you also need time to travel. So, how do you put a dollar value on somebody's time? But it is like buying time, that they're able to sooner travel more. Whereas before they were maybe hamstrung by, I need to work or else we can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
And so that is maybe the biggest benefit. It might seem like, well, I don't want to just pay for somebody's gas.
Yeah, but that gas could make all the difference.
Right. Every dollar is going to be used for gospel ministry, whether it's going into a gas tank or it's their first set of prayer cards. It's all necessary. Every way that it's used is useful and needed.
So Zach, what are what are the regions or types of ministries that this year's Giving Tuesday funds are going to go to?
It's quite a wide array of people, of places that they're going. We've got appointees who are slated to work in Bible translation in various roles. We've got sports ministries, like sports and event-based ministries. Imagine if, for example, and maybe this will come to pass, maybe it won't, but we've done in the past where the Olympics are coming to the States in 2028. And so we have somebody who specializes in event-based outreach as their ministry with BMM. I mean, how cool is that?
Yeah.
That we could put together a team and go to the nations at the Olympics, which BMM has been able to do before, which has really been, the contacts have been incredible. But that's a whole other story. We've also got places like Europe. So we've got the Netherlands, for example. We have a couple of people who are planning to work in what we would call a creative access nation that is not open to the gospel by traditional means. And so we don't specifically mention the country, but we have people that are going places like that. And then new to BMM, which we're, of course, excited about as well, kind of like a new field to us, is the deaf and hard of hearing, which is a whole people group that is one of the most unreached.
Yeah, very overlooked.
Yes. And so we have a couple that are specially gifted by the Lord physically, but also even now minister among the deaf and hard of hearing. And so that's going to be their ministry as well. So it's quite a wide swath.
A lot of variety there. Yeah.
Places, ministries, really all over the world, even here in the States. And so the Lord has brought this just very diverse kind of group that we get to support and push out to their field as soon as we can.
Yeah. So when people give to Giving Tuesday, I mean, there's a lot of different ministries that you're going to go to.
Your impact really, say you give $5, your $5 impact is going all over the world.
Yeah. Wow.
And no one can stretch a dollar like the Lord.
So, Zach, if someone wants to give, how can they give? Like, where do they go to give for Hasten to the Harvest?
Yeah, there's a lot of ways. And this year we've been expanding the ways that people could get involved. The traditional ways, of course, if you want to send a check, we have plenty of people send checks with Giving Tuesday or Hasten to the Harvest in the memo line. You can send it to the Global Ministry Center here in Cleveland. You can always give online. That we have lots of folks that give online. Sometimes we've had people give to their church, and churches will then kind of pool the people that want to give, and we get a check from a church, maybe. Or we've had churches that have just given on behalf of their congregation, which is really encouraging as well. And then this year, what's new, and we're going to probably put out maybe a post about this later, but through our online giving, there is a way that you can like host your own page, be like a fundraiser in a sense on behalf of BMM. And it's sort of like a GoFundMe, but it is, you set up your own page, you share it with anybody you think would be interested, you set your own goals and all sorts of things. And then all of that money can only go to, so you don't have to worry about it going anywhere else, but you can even raise money through your own circles of influence, I guess you'd say, friends and family, online, through social media and email, and all of that money that you might collect will go immediately toward, and it's all online, so you don't have to collect anything. No one has to give you a 20. I mean, there's no checks that you need to send to the office. It's fully done through our online giving partner. And so that is new this year. It's like a peer-to-peer kind of fundraising. So we're pretty excited to see how the Lord might even use a more modern way of raising support like that. But we know that the Lord's people are not limited to one way of giving and getting involved. And so we're trying to make as many avenues as possible so that people could raise support for this new generation of missionaries.
And every single penny goes right to the missionaries.
Yeah. I mean, we don't take a cut at BMM projects like this. We send every penny that's given to where it was intended. And so that's how we've chosen to do it.
That's awesome. All right. So for people watching, if you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, the link is going to be down there in the description. If you're watching on Instagram, our link is in our bio. So check it out if you're interested in giving. Thank you.